Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well today. I just wanted to do another installment and video talking about something that I've considered a lot. So I'm going to try to keep this video at about 10 minutes, maybe 15. But again, with my videos, I just begin them not really knowing where the conversation's going to go. Not usually, I just want to do it without premeditating what I'm going to say too much and see where the video goes from there. So with that in mind, let's move forward. So this video is going to be talking about religious pluralism and the coexist bumper sticker. So I don't know if you've seen those bumper stickers. Probably they're very popular. So basically, the bumper sticker it has different religious symbols on it. And it spells out coexist, so it's really clever. And so the overarching meaning in that bumper sticker is saying that, hey, we all have our own religions, we all have our own belief systems, and it's better if we all just get along and not say that any one of them is higher or lower than another one, because that would be intolerant, right? So I think it is a sticker that kind of shows towards treating everybody fairly and treating their belief systems fairly. But I do think that the religious pluralism idea or the coexist bumper sticker idea, although sometimes it has good intentions, commits a number of fallacies that I'm going to get into here. So first of all, I wanted to discuss the idea of first of all, so we have different religions, right? And they all have different connotations, they all have different principles, they all have different ideas and different steps to attaining enlightenment or getting to know God, and they all have different worldviews. So to say that they are all the same, first of all, just isn't true. They're all different. They all have, and I think that all of them also have exclusivity. So to say that any one is claiming exclusivity, and while the others are inclusive, which is oftentimes the accusation made against Christianity, is that Christianity is acting exclusively while all these other religions are being tolerant of one another. That isn't necessarily the case. I mean, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, even atheism, they all have aspects of being exclusive. And even if we consider all of it, even if they were all inclusive of one another, and the inclusive idea of religious pluralism as an overarching method of belief, of saying, hey, all religions are all equal, and any religion that doesn't say that all religions are created equal would be an intolerant religion. Well, making that accusation is actually acting intolerantly towards those who are claiming exclusivity in the religion. So if the people who are saying we want to be tolerant of everything, they're actually barring out anybody who disagrees with them, and it's actually an intolerance of whoever's disagreeing with them. So religious pluralism, first of all, doesn't work because all religions are not equal. They all have different structures, they all have different beliefs, they all have different modes of exclusivity. None of them can be integrated with all of the other ones. Now, I think New Age religion is kind of the closest we see to coming towards including all of these things together, all of these belief systems together into one cohesive belief system, but itself falls apart under that structure because in that by proposing to uphold the beliefs of all these different belief systems, which have contradictions, which have dissimilitudes, would deconstruct that argument that all of those can exist under the same umbrella of truth. All of them can have equality of truth. So then what happens is, if no matter which religion you're in, you're arguing against the pluralism of religion, which, if you're being consistent in whatever religion you're in, you have to recognize that your religion or your belief system or your lack of religion even has aspects of exclusivity. So if you're admitting that, then you have to look at the religious pluralist system as not being consistent, not working. So it's almost as if all those symbols and all those religions on the bumper sticker, they aren't meant to uphold all the beliefs in all the other religions that are alongside it. So, for example, Christians believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He came into the flesh. He laid down his life for our sins as a human being, was killed for us, died, and rose from the grave on the third day. That's our belief, and that there is one God, and that God is sovereign over the world. So that belief is not consistent with the beliefs of Jesus coming from other religions, like the belief of Christ consciousness coming from Buddhism, or the belief of a multiplicity of gods coming from Hinduism, or the belief of Islam that Jesus was a prophet and a good teacher, but he wasn't the Son of God. So these are not consistent with one another, and even Christianity excluded, those other ideas are not consistent with one another as well, where you have Islam saying that Jesus was a real person, but he didn't die on a cross, he wasn't the Son of God, whereas you have Buddhism saying, well, Christ is more of just a state of consciousness and a state of being that we want to be in. So, and I'm not sure if that was what Buddha originally was talking about, but that's kind of the way it's been come to known modernly, in more modern notion of Christ consciousness. So anyways, that is the problem, I think, with religious pluralism, is that it commits a fallacy. Another fallacy that I wanted to say that it does commit is an ad hominem fallacy, where if I am a Christian and I am arguing against a religiously pluralistic worldview, I am told that I am intolerant or bigoted because I don't agree with that system. Now, first of all, doesn't that seem like that's not very tolerant or bigoted to call somebody who disagrees with your worldview, as intolerant and bigoted? So it kind of collapses in on itself there. But second of all, making that claim about a person who's arguing for a specific one of those religions would be committing the ad hominem fallacy, because you're attacking the character of the person instead of attacking or addressing the arguments that they're putting forth in favor of their religion or their ideas. But basically, like, we all know, it sounds great to say that all ideas are equal and all ideas are equally true on the surface, but if you probe that at all, it falls apart. All ideas are not equal. All ideas are different. Like, there's truth and there's lies, right? It's not like everything is the same that we believe. It's not like Satanism is the same as Christianity. They're both equally true. So that deconstruction of different levels of truthfulness and in the claims made by different religions or belief systems it doesn't work. It's logically inconsistent. So the next thing I wanted to just talk about a little bit briefly is the elephant in the dark room metaphor. So I do discuss this a little in my book, but basically I want to keep this short. But basically it was, I think, an old either Hinduism or Buddhist maxim that says basically reality is like an elephant that a bunch of blind men or a bunch of people in a dark room gathered around, and they were all feeling different parts of this elephant, and they all had their hands on a different part of the elephant, aka reality. But overall, they couldn't really get the full picture because they couldn't see the elephant. They just thought it felt like a leg. What like maybe an atheist said, it's like a leg, or the Christian said no, it's like a trunk, or the Buddhist said no, it's like a tail, etc. So basically we all, in what it's saying is just like that coexist bumper sticker, wherever we are, whatever religion we have a piece of a more comprehensive structure that constitutes reality, right? So basically what happens is that the person who is saying that or making that claim about the elephant is actually operating from the pluralistic, the religiously pluralistic worldview, where all the religions are inherently equal and none is higher or lower than another in its scope of truth. But basically, by saying that, they are asserting, because they have a larger view of the entire elephant, they know that the elephant is there and that all these other people are just feeling different parts. So the person who is saying the elephant metaphor is claiming to have a larger grasp on reality, on the entire elephant, because they know the elephant's there, but these poor people who will have their hands on different parts of the elephant don't. So they don't have the full picture. But the person who does that analogy has the full picture. So that's the problem with this. So anybody who's claiming to have a pluralistic worldview is at once saying, well, hey, all these religions are basically equal. They all have a piece of reality, but not the entire thing. But hey, I have the bumper sticker, right? So I have the larger, more comprehensive understanding. So, and again, I'm not doing this to defame or shame anybody who has that bumper sticker. I'm simply talking about these ideas and discussing the deeper ideas behind the bumper sticker, or the religiously pluralistic understanding of things, or the elephant in the dark room metaphor, analogy, maxim, whatever it is. So lastly, I wanted to say that the elephant in the dark room metaphor does not have any liberty. It's very deterministic in what it allows the people who are touching the elephant to do and not to do. Basically, even if you were blind and you were touching an elephant, you would be able to move your hands around and touch different parts of the elephant. So it seems like they wouldn't even be able to do that. So my equivalent is that people who are in one religion, what they're saying is basically you can only know what's inside of that. You can't ever explore other ideas. But I think in the truth, if we're looking for truth, we are called to explore different ideas and weigh them and to feel them, just like a person could feel around. If he had his hand on the tail of the elephant, he could reach over and touch the elephant's leg, or etc. So, and lastly, from the Christian perspective, is that as Christians, we do not say that we have the full idea of the elephant, and to the degree that we do, it's not because we have attained that level of knowledge on our own power. It's because the person who created the experiment where we could all go into the room, he had full knowledge of the elephant. So human beings, I think that there's truth in that. Human beings don't have full knowledge of the elephant, but because we have been visited by God, because God has revealed himself to us and revealed what reality is to point us to, which is to point us to him. And as Christians, we would say that, well, we don't have the understanding of everything. We want to point you to somebody who does. And so that's why Christians can make the claim that Jesus Christ, because he rose from the grave, he exited the room and he came and then he came back to show us the truth. So he rose from the grave, and because of that, we put our trust in his authority. And so that's what I think I end on with talking about the religiously pluralistic worldview, and why I think Christianity gets the worst of the arguments, because it has the highest truth claims, where we say, hey, no, Jesus is actually God. He rose from the grave, and he proved who he was through all his miracles. And so we're not putting our trust in our own interpretation, we're putting our trust in God's authority himself. And so basically, again, if you're coming from the religiously pluralistic mindset, you can't attack the Christian for saying that based on their own. Maybe sometimes we are arrogant and prideful in the way we express our religion, but you can't attack them based on their character. You have to actually look at and address the claims of Christ, the claims of his identity, and that's important. So anyways, I'm at 15 minutes, but thank you for watching. I hope this video was enjoyable to you. If you think that it would help somebody, or if you know somebody who's been considering this question, please send it to them. And God bless. Take care. Have a great day.